Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Man Always Your Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, we have one more day left of September. I'm telling you, time is flying. Next thing you know, it's October, and then before you know it, it's the holidays. I mean, it's just, see, 2023 just started. Now we're almost halfway through it. So anyway, we have a major event this weekend. We have some shows coming up. I already did a video about one, but I got to do a video about this one. This is the biggest show for women's bodybuilding next to Olympia that's going on. That is the Rising Phoenix Women's Bodybuilding World Championship. Now, it's been around for quite some time. The show started back in 2015 after the 2014 Olympia, where the IP walked quite behind the women's bodybuilding division and stabbed in the heart. But shout out to Jake Wood and his wife at the time. Jake, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. And this show has been around for quite some time. It's technically Olympia qualifier. But as long as you have the champion right here in the front, Andrea Shaw, and at least several women who already earned their qualification in other shows in this, it's not really a qualification. It's invitational, so you get invited, but it's not a qualification if you can't beat the champ. So technically, it's the last show before the Olympic for women's bodybuilding, and the last Olympic qualification for women's bodybuilding was in Spain. Shout out to Chelsea Dion, who is competing the show. So the show is also the Rise. It's also the Arizona Pro, which is conjoined with the other divisions, physique, figure, fitness, wellness, bikini, and fitness. And also, it is the Arizona Extravaganza, which is also amateur show. So the list was already out earlier this year. We had at least 20 women, counting the Miss International Champion, because that's the way she becomes pro, and she's able to compete at the Olympia. But then a few weeks later, we saw some ladies dropped out of the show. Most notably, the New York Pro Champion Natalia Kobaleva, and also Sheena Oleg. I'm sorry. A big fan of Sheena Oleg. I got a chance to meet her at Savannah last year. A great lady. I'm kind of disappointed she's not competing the show, but I understand the reason why she's dropping out. But best of luck to both these ladies, and maybe we see them in the future. But I know most definitely that Natalia's going to compete at the Olympia. I don't know why she dropped out this show, but she has her reasons. So this is the list. And the list has changed a bit. I got some news from some people, which I was told that some people did drop out. And, sometimes you have to wait and see, do we revamp the list, they change it, but this is the list, and I would say the people who have dropped out of this show. First up, we have Mayla Ash. Mayla earned her qualification for the Olympia at the Atlanta Pro Show. Big fan of Mayla Ash. I've been contacted before in the past. I hope maybe in the future get her on, or maybe do an interview with her. I think she's a beautiful lady, amazing physique. Next up is Michaela Aycock. Michaela took second to Mayla at the Atlanta Pro, but she bounced back and won the Tampa Bay Pro. Impressive physique. She took third at the last year's Rising Phoenix. Maybe with some new ladies added to the show, we'll see how she's gonna place, how well she's gonna do. Next up, we have Rashana Boswell. Rashana Boswell is the Master Olympia Women's Bodybuilding Champion. This is going to be her sixth time going to the Olympia, and she's been to the Rising Phoenix quite a few times. I'm a big fan of Rashana Boswell. I've met her before, and I think she has a impressive physique. How she's going to do this show, it's all, really, it's all about, how conditions are going to come in compared to how she was at the Masters Olympia. But I wish her best of luck. Next up, we have Nikki Chartrand. Now, Nikki has been in the show quite a few times. Last year, she didn't compete. She stepped away from bodybuilding for a good minute, but she came back this year and took second at Tampa. I felt she could have won Tampa. She looked pretty impressive. But, this is going to be a tough show. You're going to get your Olympic qualification. It's not the show to do it. So maybe next year we can see Nikki do some more shows and eventually go to the Olympia again. Right here, we have Mrs. Leah Denny, and she's been to the Olympia back in 2020 when she won the New York Pro. Impressive lady. She took a break last year. She only did the Atlanta Pro, and she did the last year's Rising Phoenix. She was at the 2021 Rising Phoenix, she was fifth, and she went up a step, taking fourth. And she's a impressive lady. Can you believe this lady in her 50s? And she also was, I think she was top 10 contender at the Masters Olympia. But let's see how she's going to do it this show. We have here is Chelsea Dion, who just won the World Championship in Spain about a couple of weeks ago. This is going to be a second year as a pro and a second time going to the Olympia. She's been to the Rising Phoenix before. I think I try to remember if it was a top 10 competitor or something like that. It's been a while. She was planning to take a break, not compete this year, but some people talked her out of it. So let's wish her the best of luck. Here we have Julia Furey. And Julia, this is going to be her third show this year. She did Tampa Bay, where she took fifth. Then she did the Europa Championships, which took fourth. She is with her conditioning is a kind of hit or miss. She has put on some good amount of size ever since she turned pro and switched up from physique to women's bodybuilding. But I hope she can bring her better conditioning. There's a good chance she might make top 5 at this show. Here we have Taylor Aragi. Taylor, she turned pro at the Miss International. Now, everybody's talking about how she was the only person there, but hey, a win's a win. And she made her pro debut at Tampa Bay just this summer. I think, like I said, she's going to be the first Miss International champion to compete a show in the last 2 years. The last couple of winners have not competed, and it's great to see the Miss International competing at the Rising Phoenix. Like I said, still young and developing as a competitor. I think she might need to take a step back from bodybuilding, maybe focus on maybe physique. Maybe work out there, maybe bring her conditioning, and maybe bring her along size. Here we have is Miss Renee Marvin. Now, she made a return to bodybuilding after being absent almost 10 years. She took third at the New York Pro. Like I said, she competed bodybuilding originally, but eventually she switched over to physique and then took some years off. Her condition was pretty good in New York, but this is going to be a tough lineup some of these ladies are competing against. And some of these ladies are already Olympia qualified. Here we have LaDon Leday. Now, we have not seen LaDon compete in quite some time, not since, I think, 2021. She took some time off, working on some things. She did both the Atlanta show and the Tampa Bay Pro. She's been to Olympia a couple of times. And, conditioning is sometimes kind of like Julia, hit or miss. But like I said, she's not gonna. I don't know how. I feel like she might bottom out if she doesn't bring in a better level of conditioning. She's not gonna place too well at the show. Now, dropping out of the show is Christina Mendoza. Even though she applied to go to the show and she application accepted, this is the third time Christina Mendoza has dropped out. If she's gonna compete in Olympia, probably will. But I don't know why. Even apply for the Rising Phoenix, you're gonna keep dropping out of it. It's just crazy. Here we have is Shara Priyami, Mrs. Priyami, and she did pretty good. She switched over from physique to women's bodybuilding, from physique to women's bodybuilding last year. She placed second and third at some shows, and she was doing pretty well at the points. Something happened in her family, so she took a step back. I felt if she did one more show, she probably would have qualified for the Olympia or even got enough points for the Olympia. I did an interview with her. I think she's a great lady. I hope her best of luck at this show. Here is the champ herself, 3-time Rising Phoenix champion, 3-time Miss Olympia champion, the lovely Miss Andrea Shaw. Impressive lady. She is, how the best word could say, is perfect. It's going to be tough. I feel like it's nearly impossible to beat Andrea. It's nearly impossible. Even if she's slightly off, she's still going to win because she just has all these decks, what the judges are looking for. And I think she's possibly going to be a 4-time Miss Olympia champion. There's no doubt about it. Next up we have is Melissa Tyke. Last year she competed at the Arizona Pro, taking second, and she won the Texas Pro before that. She made a switch this year to women's bodybuilding. She was, I believe she was 8th at the Olympia. She took third at Chicago, and I thought she was doing at least another show. But, I don't know. I think she still needs more time to do a bit, and also, I think people a little bit who've been competing longer in the women's bodybuilding division deserve the opportunity to come in the show. But no offense to Melissa. I think she has a impressive physique. But like I said, let's wait and see how she does at this show. Next up we have is second runner-up to the Miss Olympia, and that is Angela Yap. Angela, great physique. Conditioning is just wild. She's been put on some size. But is it enough to beat the champ? I don't know. I don't think so. But like I said, she has a impressive physique, a great body, great look to her. She might come up in the top three of this show, maybe come second right up to Andrea, or maybe taking third. I think that's a possibility. Here we have is my dear friend, the lovely Mrs. Tina S. Williams. Tina has been competing at the Rise of Phoenix ever since she's been a Miss International champion. One of the mouse usual suspects. She looks good last year, even though she did some shows. She didn't do no shows this year. She was focused on the Rise of Phoenix. Let's hope she couldn't crack the top five in the money division. As you know, this year is not going to have no cars to give it away, but hey, at least she gets some money. But shout out to Tina, and also shout out to my man, Mr. Big Keith Williams. Now, here's a lady who dropped out of the show, even though she applied and she got invited, and that is one Mr. Sanka Dawson. Miss Dawson was a physique last year, but made switch to women's bodybuilding this year. I believe she was top 5 at the Atlanta Pro. And, I thought she would try to do another show, but I guess she was focused on this show, but now she's not competing. So, like I said, a good example where an invitation would have been better suited for somebody who really wanted to compete in the show. Here we have another lady who's usually a suspect show, and that is the lovely Miss Virginia Sanchez. Now, Miss Sanchez was busy this year. She did a couple of shows. She did both the Masters Olympia, where she took third in women's bodybuilding, and also she did the Europa Championship, which took fifth. I remember watching a video from that show, and she was kind of disappointed. And, she's been to the Rise Stream quite a few times. One year she didn't go because of the time we had the pandemic. I remember she was telling she didn't want to travel, especially she had a son to take care of. I wish her best of luck. I mean, I saw how she was disappointed at her placing at the Whooper show, and but I hope she does maybe come back next year, or like I said, she can take a step back from the sport. She's been competing for pretty much 20 years or more. I mean, but like I said, I'm a big fan of Virginia Sanchez, and I wish for all the best for her in the future. Now, this is a list for the Arizona Pro Women's Bodybuilding Division. Women's Physique Division. And there's quite a few names on here. I mean, some people say it would be a little bit more, but there's another show going on in Florida, which is the Daytona Pro. And, it's one of the few shows left for Olympic qualification. As you know, it's at least, like I said, women's physique has more Olympic qualifications than women's bodybuilding. And they at least have kind of this show, also showing Phoenix, and also showing Nevada. There's like 3 shows left for Olympic qualification. As you know, the Olympia is going to be in November, and I think qualification ends right about the first full week of October. So we have quite a few ladies. Some ladies have been competed this year. Some ladies we haven't seen since the Olympia. Very impressive lineup here. So let's start her. Right here we have Rachel Aronson, who also we also the masters class. I forgot about that. It's women 40 plus. So some of these ladies you're gonna see that in the master show also, and also you're gonna see them in the open show. But like I said, they're doing both open and masters for all the other women's divisions, except for women's bodybuilding, where the Rising Phoenix is the main show. So again, we have here one Miss Rachel Aronson, and she competed at the Texas Pro. I forget how she placed in that show because, like I said, I did post some videos about it, but I didn't really follow that hard. But she looks pretty impressive. Right here we have Mrs. Ashley Bader. I think she competed maybe this year, I believe. I can't remember, or did she competed last year? Impressive lady. She's from Alabama. We have here Miss Cece Barba, who took fourth at the Texas Pro. Impressive physique, great look to her. I mean, it was a tough lineup. You had Evie Rain, who won the show after she lost at Tampa. You had Lisa Kisling, who had not seen in a couple of years, who competed in Olympia back in 2021. And also you had Sarah Bradley, who looked very impressive. She's a young competitor who has been pro for a couple of years. But Cece holding her hell of her own. She looked pretty good. Next up we have here is Elisa Copeland. And, Lisa, I did an interview with her. She's from Canada. She did a couple of shows this year. She mostly did Texas, and also I believe she did also the Ultima Classic, or was that I think she did Ultima. Impressive lady, good physique. She hadn't competed for the last 2 or 3 years, but she made a return this year. Next up we have here is one Miss Jennifer Graylish, who is being competed for a good bit. And I think this is a show that this is pretty much, I think this is going to be her pro debut. No, her pro debut, because I think she's been pro for a good bit. I don't know much about her. We have here one Miss Tina Gormama. I decided to get, let's go with Miss Tina G. She competed at the Vancouver Island Show. She's from California. One year last year, she competed in women's bodybuilding at Tampa in both the open and I believe the master's class. So, impressive lady. We have here one Miss Alex Flex Hall. Saw her at last year's at Savannah Pro. Impressive lady. Wish her best of luck. I mean, if she can bring in better conditioning compared to what she had at at Savannah, she can possibly crack the top 5 this show. We have here is Young Kim from South Korea, and she competed for quite a bit. She did New York Pro some time ago, and this is going to be her second show this year. As you know, there's a growing number of women from this country in the sport of bodybuilding, not just, in physique and also the other divisions. But we have a fellow countrywoman here, Miss Jane Hai Lee, and she competed at New York Pro last year. She got a qualification, I believe, at Toronto, I believe, and also she competed at Olympia. I think she cracked top 10 this show. Very impressive. We have here one Miss Susan Oktay. Okay, I think it's Oktay. She's from Australia. Not much more information about her. We have here one Miss Claudia Gabriel de Leon Pardo from Mexico. She competed last year at the Puerto Rico Pro. The last time we had the Puerto Rico Pro last year. We have Danielle Pesnids. She just turned pro this year, and this is going to be her pro debut. We have Brooke Pigeon, who I believe was top 10 at the Texas Pro. This has been her second year as a pro. Impressive physique. I think she looks pretty good. We have here one Miss Michelle Polanik. I don't know much about this lady. She's another lady who's been competing for a good bit. I think she has been pro for maybe a couple years or so. We have one Miss Mary Power. And Miss Power is from Utah. I think she last competed back in 2021 or I think 2022. So we have here is one Miss Anna Lynn Prince from Germany. I think this is going to be her pro debut. Where here we have Natalie Springans from the UK. She competed in women's figure at the on a UK show. We have Wisdom White, who won her first Olympic qualification at Savannah. And then I think she might have placed in top 15 at the Olympia. Press lady from New York. And also you might remember that she also was Rachel from the Chappelle Show skit with what's his name? I forgot his name. You know who I'm talking about. But she's from New York. Cute, good physique. Depending on what she's going to bring, it's going to be tough. And here's a lady I just did an interview this afternoon. That is the lovely Mrs. Heidi Worrell Osborne. And you might know as Mighty Heidi. Big fan of hers. She did the Atlanta show. I think she's planning on doing the show in Nevada, the Legion Sports Fest. She does that show quite often because she lives in California. And let's say there's more opportunities for a lot of these California bodybuilders in physique than it is for the regular bodybuilders in the women's bodybuilding division. That's why I said I wish there's more shows out west. But great fan, a great interview, great lady. Wish her all the best. And I can't wait to see what she's going to bring at this show. Now, again, we have here Miss working in women's 40 plus. That is Miss Gishling. Also, we have here Joanna Romero, who is also competing in women's 40 plus. And also, we have here one Miss Renee Bartlett, who just competed at the Masters Olympia. No, sorry, the Masters Olympia. The Masters World Championship just a month ago. Person lady. And also other ladies who competed are Miss Susan Otek, Michelle Polik, and also Natalia Springans, who's competing in 40 plus. Now, after the show, there's going to be a little event, a little like three-way showdown. And it's going to be on the Olympia YouTube channel, which is kind of Rising Phoenix, might as well say, or not Rising, Wings of Strength, but Jay owns the Olympia, so he has his own YouTube channel, and it's, kind of conjoined with the Rising Phoenix. I mean, it's not, it's, you have here the champ, Andrea Shaw, you have here Natalia Kovaleva, and also you have here Angela Yo. Now it's going to happen that later the next day after the Rising Phoenix on Sunday the 1st October, and I'll leave the link in the description. You want to check it out and watch it. I might watch it. This is what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna do this thing with Andrea, but you're not gonna compete at the show against her. I don't know. It's a mix. It's a mixed bag with Tanya Koleva. But like I said, I'm gonna check it out because I'm a big fan of Andrea, and I wish you all the best of the show. So as you know, the show is gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna be Pacific Standard Time, so that means that they probably gonna start 3 hours behind us. As you know, when you go out west, 3 hours behind us, we're 3 hours ahead. So I believe the pre-judge is going to be probably later this afternoon our time, around about maybe 11 or 12, and then I think the final is going to be probably later that evening. So probably around about maybe 9 to midnight. But like I said, this is a good show, good lineup, especially for ladies. I feel like, again, Andrea's going to win because she's been so dominant. I mean, it's tough to beat her. And now she's going to Olympia. If she goes in, she could take a fourth world championship title and then probably get a fourth Olympia. But like I said, I know some people have some doubts. But like I was told, it's Andrea Shaw and everybody else. Anyway, this is me on our way Jersey Page, a.k.a. the Emperor of Female Boxing Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.